Hi, this is one thing we did last year for science. In the master book curriculum, we did this thing, Survey of Astronomy, because my son loves astronomy. Again, as I said before, you can do different sciences and find out which ones you want for your kids to do. Now, they happen to have a curriculum and they use these books. I have them. We got that, Taking Back Astronomy. I believe his name is Jason Lyle. It's all up in here. We used, I don't have the actual book right now on me, but this one is at Creative Moon. We have this Stargazer's Guide to the Night. We had the video, Our Created Moon, which is a part of the curriculum. This is something I had from previous going actually to see Dr. Jason Lyle from what is that called? CRI Creation Research Institute. And this is the teacher's guide. Now, when I said about the teacher's guide before, and it's not that I'm trying to beat up on other companies, I'm just straight up telling you, when you buy curriculum, like say from Rebecca, Bob Jones, it's not just them, there's a lot of them. When you go under their particular science for their particular grade, for whatever they think, that's set up for under their, the way they set it up, they have so many different things. And I don't know, it's just something you have to look into to see if you're feeling it and wanting to buy all those books, okay? But once you see those things and you see how many different things you have to buy, and then you see the simplicity of how these things are done, you'll see and appreciate what I'm talking about. Number one, this is called the teacher's guide. This one says it gives you a grade range, 9th through 12th grade. That means anybody between 9th grade through 12th grade can do this. A 12th grader can do it, an 11th grader can do it, a 9th grader, a 10th grader. That's what that means. So that's just off the bat. I'm not trying to be funny. I just wanted to explain that because, like I said, I'm trying to explain this for people that may be pulling their kids out of high school and have to do this, because I did that and I wish I would have known more information, and I didn't know. So that's why I'm saying these things. So in the beginning of this book, they tell you the Survey of Astronomy. They give you some comments here, table of contents. This is giving you info for user teacher guide. They tell you how these work. And this has lesson scheduling, which you'll see in a second. This is a course description. These are words and terminology that you're going to have to know. Course description. What does that mean? Well, this is a course. This whole thing right here is a course for the subject of science, astronomy, Survey of Astronomy. So when you're doing your paperwork, depending on what state you're in, you might have to have course descriptions for every daggone subject you do. I'm telling you, New Jersey, I love New Jersey for homeschooling, okay? Maybe not for other reasons, but at least for homeschooling. So course description, they give it to you, and they give you a suggestion, optional science lab that you could do. Then this is where the scheduling comes in. And this is where I'm telling you, when you look up other people's books and you see their scheduling books, you're going to appreciate how simple this is. This is what some people will call a takeaway, easy scheduling. This literally gives you pay attention to this, suggestion, okay? These books are your tools, okay? They are your tools to work for you. I don't want for someone to think, oh my gosh, I have to, and trust me, this is a simple form. I have to do this on this day or I'm going to mess up the week or blah, blah. Look, man, take things in stride. You better pray. Everything, it does not work out like you think. And I'm telling you right now, you will be fine. Even if you think you've messed up, you can get yourself back up and continue on, okay? So see how this gives you, this is week 1, day 1, day 2, day 3. This is very simple, I'm telling you. Then they give you read pages, so and so. For in this case, in this book, it says read page 4 through 5 through Stargazer's Guide to the Night Sky, which is this. And then that's when they give you SGNS. So basically, they don't want to keep writing Stargazer Guide over, so you'll keep seeing SGNS, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they'll just keep it in the same fashion, and they will give you the days and the weeks, and you will see. Why I wanted to show you this, though, is this is how they have it set up for that company, that curriculum, which, by the way, like I said, is very simply laid out for a homeschooler. I'm telling you. So when you see all these things are done, okay, they show you all. You can put the date and the grades if you choose to. That's another thing you're going to have to learn about. All these things. Now, what I wanted to say was you can, I like this setup, and this, I like the way this was done. But like, let's say you pick up a science book from somewhere, and I wasn't planning to do this, but whatever. This is not what is considered a living book. I like living books. This method of teaching this particular science class is more like a living book. Why? Because living books are written by people who have a lot of knowledge in that subject. This dude ain't no joke. He's an apologetic. He also teaches a lot about science. Wonderful man. I've seen him live twice with my son, and I've bought these books from him, and they're awesome. And he knows a lot about these topics, and that's what a living book would be. Hearing it from someone that studies it, and it's like their passion. You know what I'm saying? Another book that I used along with this curriculum was something that I had found, and I had left in my eBay watch list, and I went back. I was like, oh snap, I did order that, and I never used it. It was this book. What an amazing book. This is written, and you may think, oh, maybe that's a little too childish for like high schoolers and stuff. I don't give a hot hoot. You don't got to worry about none of that stuff, what people say. You do what you think is right. Let me tell you something. This dude right here, it's called Destination Moon, the Spiritual and Scientific Voyage of the Eighth Man to Walk on the Moon by astronaut James Irwin. This was an amazing testimony and biography. This book was awesome. And the best thing was that the kids are hearing firsthand testimony from the man's own mouth and how he gave glory to God. I'm telling you, these are books that are awesome. And this is what I'm talking about. That's a living book. You're hearing it from the people who've experienced it. I also looked around and I found on someone's suggested reading books and I found this one for science, for astronomy, for all mankind. And these are different guys. It says 24 astronauts went to the moon for the first time. Men set foot on another world. Here, in the words of the men who went there, is the story of the greatest adventure in human history, the voyage to the moon. It was written by Harry Hurt III. And I looked this up, and he's almost done. He didn't finish it all yet, but he has to finish it. But this is what a living book is. Someone that is writing and talking about subjects that people are involved in. That's what a living book is. This is a book that we're going to try for this year. And I wasn't even going to show you all this, but whatever. Believe it or not, this is a science book, and it is Agriscience. It's going to go over agriculture and a whole bunch of different things. What I wanted to show you was you can use, and this is for any subject, okay? You can go to the daggone table of contents, okay? Maybe I should do this in another video. But the table of contents could be for you a guide to say, you know what? I don't necessarily want to use everything that's in this book, but I do want to cover certain subjects in this book that I would like to show my kids. And maybe what you could do is go find videos on it. You can find other resources. You can use the book itself. You may not want to just use the book itself. Do you have to answer the questions at the back of the page? No, you do not. Do you need an answer key for every teacher, every book? No, you don't. But sometimes it is especially better for the high schoolers because sometimes you need to see things. And I know this is going to be an argument with some people, but whatever. If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to listen. But all I'm saying is you can use a science book and you can use it however you want to use it. Back to my point with this scheduling. So with this scheduling, and it tells you to do workbook pages, I wanted for people to understand how this curriculum works real quick. So they give you the day reading. Okay, you got to read Stargazer chapter 11, worksheet 4. So then it tells you page 89. So you're going to read the book. And in this case, it's this book, page 11 through whatever. Then it tells you Then that's for day 81. Okay, that's for day 81. The next day would be 82. Read pages 212 and 221. That's reading from the book. I'm sorry, that's day 82. Day 83 would say Deep Sky Objects, Short Answers, Stargazer, Chapter 11, Worksheet 5, page 91. That's when they tell you the worksheets, that's when you go into the teacher's guide. And what page did it say? Page 91. So we're going to go to 91. Okay, and it wasn't done good because I want to show you that. So then, see, it tells you up here, Stargazer Guide to the Night Sky, Deep Sky Objects, day 83. It tells you chapter 11, worksheet 5, just like it says there. Everything's simple. You put your name, and then they can answer the questions, okay? Why is it not finished, filled out? Because I started doing something different. And like I said, everybody does not have to do things, excuse me, the same way everybody does things. I myself, I have found a recommended website. I forget what it was called. At the time, it was like, I forget. It had something to do with notebooking. And it was an interesting take, and I'm just going to say it to you real quick. They said basically, this woman had 5-6 kids. She had all these different books and teachers' answer guides, and kids were getting frustrated about stuff. Long story short, it dawned to her, why don't she find out what is it that her kids are learning from what they're doing, what they're reading, and have them notebook it, which means they can take a regular notebook like this, or a composition book, the good old black and white ones we used to have back in the day, or a binder, and like this one, for example, a flexible binder or hard binder, whatever, and you have your kids write out a notebooking page on what it is they're talking about. Is that what he did? Yeah, that's what he did. Am I afraid to tell some people this? I kind of am, because I think some people are going to say, oh, that's not good. The notebooking is for younger kids. No, it's not. And it does not mean that everybody's going to notebook the same way. In my particular case, for my son, he wasn't one that was down with drawing pictures and all that. I had made him do it sometimes, but he was not really down with that. But some kids are artistic. They want to draw pictures. They want to show you. They can do comic strips. They can show you, as long as they're able to relate to you what they've read and what in their reading, that is showing you that they're learning. Okay. Do you have to answer 25 questions that the company set up? And not that I'm busting Master Books, because I like Master Books a lot. Okay. I'm talking more like, God forgive me, but like Abeka and BJU and all those, they're, like I said, they're good companies, and I'm not trying to whatever. I know that certain people have certain ways of thinking, and if that's the way people want to have their schooling done, that's fine. But for me, I don't really want to know about all these other questions that you're asking. I want to know what he's reading, learning, and what he's going to remember, because what he's reading and learning and he writes about is most likely what he is going to remember years from now, as opposed to answering a whole bunch of questions from a book, a whole bunch of vocab, and then he's not going to remember none of it later on. Except for some people that are exceptional and stuff like that, most people don't remember what they learned in high school, unless it's something that you liked. So that's why interest-led learning is so important in homeschooling. And for my son, my son particularly, he loves astronomy. He always has. He's always been fascinated with it. And when I saw this, I had to jump on it, and he loved it. Now, what I want to say is, for notebook pages, not that I'm trying to whatever, but you can print stuff out. That's the constellations. You can have him or her write, certain things. I'm not going to show you everything on here because, like I said, unfortunately, I don't want to hear criticism from people. But they can, one day I had him read the book, and then I would tell him notebook on the page that you read, and then he would just give me some stuff that he wrote on what he read. Now, I can see from what he's writing, what he is learning, what he is keeping in his mind. And sometimes you may think, man, some people may do more. They may write more, and they should be writing more for high school. They should be. But that still doesn't mean they're not learning. And what I just want to tell you is that particular technique is something you can use for all the subjects. You can do that from when they're kindergarten all the way till they're in high school. And then as they keep going older, you will change and adjust what you will be expecting from them, and it will progress. And it will progress. So trust me, that notebooking idea is awesome. And I'm sorry, there's some, like, there, and I'm not gonna lie too, I did have him do some of the questions, to fill out some of the questions in there once in a while, but I didn't have him do it all the time. A lot of it was reading it and notebooking it. Reading it, and then he would maybe do some of the questions. And then there were some tests. That's another thing too I want to explain. Here, they give you the tests, and they're in the back of the book. And then also, like I had said before in another video, and I didn't say it now, but the answer key also is in the back of this book. So what you would do as a parent is take them out, save them to the side, and then when you have to check, like say you could use this curriculum just the same how they said it. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. You this doesn't make you a worse homeschool parent because, you know, like I did, I decided to notebook on most of the stuff and answer some of the questions. That don't make you a bad homeschool parent. That just makes you a parent that chose to do that. You can choose to do this whole thing just the same way they have it set up, finish it and do it like they asked you to, check the answers, give them a grade if you choose to do so, and continue on. You know, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to go and use other books that have more things in it, or like I said, this is a book we just got. Lord Jesus, help us with this. And you know, this is a regular old school textbook. Okay, they have questions in the back. Am I gonna have him answer them all? Maybe. Am I gonna ask him one of them? Maybe. This came, actually, I had to buy a separate workbook for a lab, and I got the answers for that too. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's different forms and ways of you being able to do this. You are the one that have to check these out and find out what's going to work for your kid. Don't, like I said, I'm going to say this, I don't care how many times I say this in different videos. You do what is best for your kids. You're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay? We are going to keep up with Jesus. Whatever it is that God wants for your child to do, that's going to be my new saying. We're not keeping up with the Joneses. We're going to keep up with Jesus. We're going to do what you think and you believe the Lord is leading you for your child. And let me tell you something. My son may have loved astronomy, but if I had more kids, which I don't, this is my last one, and maybe that kid didn't want to do astronomy, but they said, yeah, I'll do it. Maybe they won't notebook. Maybe they'll just do the thing. Who knows? Or maybe there's another science they could do, because there's a lot of different sciences. Biology, botany. There is, what's the other ones? Oh Lord, there's physical science. That's another thing. These are all different types. This right here is not a common book. You know where I found this at? In the ASVAB book. It's the book for the military, for the people to get into the military. And I noticed a list of things that they have for science. And I said, Agriscience. I looked it up, and my son loves gardening. He likes the stuff about plants and all that. And I'm like, well, you know, it's something the military is looking for, is for science. So what the heck? So that's how I found out about that. I didn't even know that existed. But you don't have to do the regular stuff that everybody does. You can do what you want to do. Now, when you're for getting ready for college, sometimes some colleges, they require certain sciences. So you have to make sure you cover those certain sciences, like biology, chemistry, all that stuff. Okay. But like I said, you have to, as you're learning, you're going to find out what your child needs. For right now, I'm in high school mode because my son is in high school. But I have grandkids, so I'm watching what my daughter is doing with my grandkids. And she's been using books from Master Books, and she found some books off of Christian, where's my little book that I've been showing everybody? ChristianBookstore.com. And there's a lot of old school books in there teaching the old ways on how people used to do things. And she's found some really nice books to help with like teaching certain things, which is awesome. So anyway, back to science. This is just one way of you doing the class. This is a whole year, is considered for 1 credit, and doing it in another way. And again, these are your tools and your resources. You can do whatever it is you think you need to do. Okay? So I hope that helps. I think that's it for now. Take it easy and God bless you.